Hi everybody, sorry about that. Silly me. Thought I was live and I'm talking to my blooming self. Well, okay. Well, let's see if anybody else is going to come in and join me before I get started. We'll see. Hiya, William. Nice to see you. Hi, Darkside. Caledonia Vibes. Hiya, nice to see you. Jax, nice to see you. Hi, everybody. Okay. I've been saying for a wee while about having some videos and things like that. First off, I want to start off by saying that there is no disrespect meant or anything like that with what I did by going to the place. It's just really to give people an idea of the area. I've got friends that are overseas and they don't know the area or anything like that. So it was myself and the lovely Disco from Foulplay and her partner. And I'm so sorry, I can't remember your name. But it was lovely meeting up with them and things like that. They were over in Scotland for a visit, so yeah, there's no disrespect meant. It's just really to give people an idea of the location, directions, and things like that. So please, I hope nobody takes offence to what's being shown. I did make a few mistakes in the videos, and that's why I've kind of decided to do it live so that I can correct myself in the videos, or I will just actually turn the volume down and talk over it that way to explain what's going on. So quick recap. Luke Mitchell and Jodie Jones, both 14. Luke was accused of Jodie's murder and convicted of Jodie's murder. There was no DNA evidence. There is no DNA evidence to prove Luke done it. And in my opinion, I believe Luke is 100% innocent. And I've said that from the beginning. So I think we'll just try and get on, and I'll share my screen. There we go. And what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to give you like the map locations. Now my screen's went all blurry. There we go. It's cleared up a bit now. It should clear up in a second, guys. For yous, this map here is just really to show you just how close it is to myself. I don't know if you can see my mouse, but this red circle here is where I am. And this red circle here is Dalkeith, Mayfield, and the East Houses area. So it is rather close to home. This one is just to give you an idea, because you'll have heard of the New Battle area, the East Houses area, and the Mayfield area. This is just to show you just how close exactly they are to each other. I've got a couple of better maps that I'm going to show. If anybody's got any questions or anything like that, just put them in the chat and I will get to them as soon as I can. Hi Jazz Naz, hi Rachel. Nice to have you with us. Okay, so my next one was going to be this one, I think it was. This is the New Battle area, East Houses area, and the Mayfield area, and you can see that they're quite close to each other. And this here is the Rowan Dykes path. I have other images of that as well. So there we go. That's Rowan Dykes path there with the blue arrow. And this first red line here is on the left hand side of the wall, because you'll see when we get to the videos that there is up here as you're coming in, there is a break in the wall here, and that is all the woodland area there. And there is a couple of paths, and one of those paths goes from there and it goes right the way down in the woodland area. And there's a gap in the fence here that takes you out into the field, and then you can walk down that field and it brings you out at a dirt road here, which brings you out to where Luke would be. And this bit here is coming from the wall side of the path from the New Battle area to the East Houses area. So I'm hoping that's helping with like direction for you, things like that. This one here, this is where the area, round about the area where Jodie stayed, to how close the path was to Jodie. So it's not that far really from Jodie's house. This one here, this is where Luke stayed, in this area here. And this is the entrance to the path here, where Luke stayed. So it wasn't really that far for Luke either to get to. And I think there's one more I wanted to show. Yeah, this is a map of where Luke's house was. Now between, now let me get my times correct. Luke was waited for Jodie for a while, and Jodie never turned up. He was sitting about here waiting for Jodie. She never turned up, so he left from here across into the Abbey, into the grounds of the Abbey. This is the Abbey here. So him and his mates would have went in here, and he was seen in here with his mates until about 9 o'clock, and then he went home. So these maps are just really to give you a sort of bird's eye view of like distances and vicinity and things like that. That is all that these maps are supposed to do, is to help my friends. And this here is Rowan Dyke's Path. This here is works, like sewage works and that. This fields. So I think that's me done all the maps that I wanted to show you. So I will go on to the videos now. Yes, William, what is your question? Hi, Katnat. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining me tonight. Yes, William, you may ask a question before I go on to these videos. Where is the tool hire place? For those who don't know, I don't know if that's on these maps. I did have a map of it. Give me a second. Oh, my screens went funny. Here we go. Here. Here is the basic tool hire place that the moped boys were seen going through. So Luke stayed here. It was here. The moped boys were seen around this area, and then they went to the path, which is this area here. So does that help? No problem, William. No problem at all. So the moped boys were seen going through. It was either going through or going past the tool hire place to the path, and this is the path here. So I hope that answers your question, okay, William? And for everybody else who didn't know. Now, as I says, I'm going to go on. I'm going to have a quick puff before I do this, but I don't want to do it on camera, so I'm going to do that for a second. Now, as I says, I'm going to go on to the videos. I hope it plays okay and everybody can hear it. Me doing these videos is not meant any disrespect to the Jones family or to glorify anything in any way whatsoever. That is the last thing I want to do. I just wanted people to see the area. And to be honest, I wanted to go and see the area. Because I roughly knew what the area was like. The last time I was doing that area was when I was younger. We used to hang about doing that, the kind of areas, and stuff like that. So I had it in my head about Luke's innocence and actually going and seeing for myself just affirmed my opinion that, in my opinion, there is no way Luke could have done this and not be seen by anybody. And this is the only purpose why I have done the videos. So here we go. Oh no, wrong one. It's this one I want. Oh. That wrong. Give me a wee second. I'll take that back off. There we go. Wasn't at the side. Okay. Yes, Becca. He was a kid. And is in no way able to pull off the perfect murder. Well, it's not even just the perfect murder. I mean, people are saying, you know, oh, he could have went this way, he could have went that way, he could have went this path, he could have went that path. But in my opinion, at either end, whether it's the New Battle End or the East Houses End, at 5 o'clock at night, in that time period, people are driving up and doing that road, left, right and centre, coming home from work, cutting through the areas to get to another area, things like that. And houses. There's houses at this side. There's houses at this side. There's houses at this side, you know. And I just find it hard to believe that nobody would have seen him. Yes, there was no DNA and no fingerprints found of Jodie, found of Luke on Jodie or of Jodie on Luke. Jodie had defensive wounds. We've been told that she had defensive wounds. Professor Bustelli, I do apologise if I've got his name wrong. It's either Bustill or Bustelli. Was the person who looked at Jodie, and he said that she had defensive wounds, and it was unlikely that her attacker wouldn't have had some evidence on them unless they were wearing a forensic suit from head to toe and gloves and everything like that. There's also a QC, John Scott, who was a human rights lawyer, who's also said that the evidence is not there to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Luke did it. Alan Jameson is the head of forensics, and he said the same. And these are experts, and Sarah Gomez. Oh, please hope I'm saying these names properly. Sarah Gomez is a forensic scientist of the Forensic Institute, and she says that she finds it hard to believe that Luke Mitchell committed this crime. So that is what, 3-4 experts in their field that are saying Luke never did this either. Sharon Sunshine, so lovely to see you. I hope you're on the mend, my dear. Sending you kisses and big hugs. And good vibes your way, my other Ouija sister. Hiya, Mick. Shout, hiya, Kyla. Hello. Hiya, Hen. How are you? Auntie Alice loves you. You're a bugger, Mick. You put me off there. And Dr. Saltman as well. Yeah. Thanks, Jazz Naz. Yeah. The lovely Dr. Saltman from Foulplay. Also finds it hard to believe that Luke is guilty of this as well, and it's just madness. It is madness, in my opinion. But if these experts are saying this, you know, and we are saying it, we all can't be wrong, you know. May you ask a question, William? Yes, you may, William. And if I can answer it, I will answer it. If I can't, then I'm sorry. But go ahead before I go on to these videos, because I know Becca and Becca's Be Brand and Brave is tonight at 10:30. So everybody jump over and join in on Brand and Brave later on. It's 10:30 UK time. So ask away, William. And another one, Roy Ram, a former commander of Scotland Yard investigator. He's done over 18 murders. He said that the investigation, and I'm not putting him word for word, this is my interpretation of his words, is that the police should have been looked at and they did not do their job properly. They did not do their job properly. Especially when it came to the identification of Luke, because really what should have happened is he should have had a lineup, an in-person lineup. And Sharon saying Tim Valentine, the eyewitness expert too. So there's loads of experts. How many of these experts saw all the evidence and the elimination process were they part of the case? Sharon or Caledonia Vibes, can you maybe help me out with this one? I know John Scott has been on it for a while. I think he's been on it from the beginning. Am I correct? But you're a bugger, William. You've stumped me with that one. But luckily, I've got people in chat that could maybe help me. Thank you, Sharon. Alan Jameson and Sarah Gomez has seen the lot. So, and is John Scott, Sharon, is John Scott's been on it from the beginning as well, because he was a human rights solicitor first, wasn't he? And he's now a human rights lawyer and a criminal defence lawyer, QC. I remember getting that and writing down when I was getting the experts' names and everything like that for my notes. I noticed because he was in the 2007 documentary that came out, and he was also part of the documentary that was out in 2020. And in my opinion, he says practically the same things in the 2007 documentary as what he did in the 2020 documentary. If you haven't seen them, all the links are below in the description, to the appeals, to the petition, to Sharon Sunshine's channel, to Looking Justice channel, to the Discord. I think the Discord is in there. The Facebook group, everything like that is all in the description below. John Scott has been given advice, but I don't think he has seen stuff, as he was not on the team. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you. No, you're all right, William. You're all right. I mean, I thought you might have came back with a question who were the experts, so I was prepared for that. So, yeah. So John Scott has been given advice, and he was in the 2007 and the 2020 documentary. And not only that, both documentaries, 16 years apart? Please forgive my maths. Both come to the same conclusion. I mean, that's got to say something. And what we're fighting for is an independent review. Opinion rather than advice. Yeah. Right, Sharon. So, and I mean, everything that I'm talking about in these videos and everything like that is my opinion on everything that's happened in the cases and everything like that. I'm not saying, I'm not wanting to put out on facts or anything like that. That's why I try and do my notes and I look into things and everything like that. Sorry, Murder in a Small Town was 2021. See, 2020 is just... I thought it was 2020. Sorry, guys. Misinformation. No, he wasn't a detective, but he's a forensic expert, William. And if Luke's being convicted on evidence and forensic evidence, apparently, then he's got every right to look at it. And he's one of the best people to have an opinion on the forensic evidence because he knows what he's talking about. So that's my opinion. So, yeah, he would have every right to look at the case, because he's the forensic expert. So, and that's good for me. And he's the head of the Forensic Institute of Scotland. You know what I mean? So he's the best in the land, really, if you want to put it that way. In my opinion. And I, so right, okay. Hi, Sylvia. Nice to see you. Thank you, Sharon. Hi, Sylvia Hen. Nice to see you join me tonight. Right, okay, let's do this. What time are we at? We're fine. Okay. Right. Oh, where did they go? Okay, I'm going to need to stop sharing now, guys, because something's went tits up. And I need to get the videos back again. Okay, there we go. Okay, guys, this is right. Get a YouTube channel, they said. It's easy, they said. Feckin' liars. Where is that disco? Oh, no. That's why it's entitled "A Walk." Come take a walk with me and Disco, because Disco is actually in the videos with me. So that's why I said about the come take a walk with us. Excuse me. So, as I said before, these videos aren't meaning to offend anyone or anything like that. There is no disrespect meant with me going there to do this. As I says, it is just a tricky lot. Yes, Becca. Hi, Pom Pom. Nice to see you. Thank you very much for joining me. I'm at work, so I'll be in and out. Oh, well, thank you very much for coming in and joining me. It's lovely to see you here. And to have you with us. Okay, right, let's see. We'll get back to doing this again. Right. This is what I want. Hopefully that'll come in a second. Okay. There we go. Just let me know if you can hear it okay. This is the entrance of where Jodie would have came in. She would have came that direction. Andrea Bryson would have came where that car is coming, but she would have came along here to this corner. Now, I'll show you the speeds. Now, it doesn't matter if you can't hear the volumes or anything like that, because I do. I've just got to pause that wee second. Got to pause that wee second because I just want to affirm, in case anybody hears or anything like that. Yes, there is a few mistakes in the videos that I made. This is why I'm kind of doing it live, so that I can correct myself. The videos that I've just showed you is just to show you the road and the corner. where one of the witnesses said that she'd seen. So, as I said, these videos are just for the purpose of location, to give you an idea, because a lot of people have said, oh, he could have went this way, he could have went that way, he could have done this, he could have done that, and I just wanted to go there myself and see it for myself, and it's affirmed to me that there's no way he could have not been seen. So here we go.
Seen, apparently seen Luke and Jodie, and this is the entrance to the path from Jodie's side. So we will.
That is the lovely disco from Foulplay.
Go in, and as you can see on the notice there, the battle is 3/4 miles along this path. So this is the way that Jodie would have came.
How's that? Is that better,
she
Sharon?
came into the path. Now, as you can see, it's quite overgrown now. And as you can see, there's a fence there, and there's a fence on that side. So, and I'll just keep the video going until we get to the V shape. Now, you've got to remember it was the height of summer, 30th of June, so it probably would have been overgrown like this as well.
Maybe not so much overgrown as what it is now, because it's, like I say, it's 18 years later. So, and as I've said, and I'm going to repeat it, I have made mistakes in these videos, and this is why I'm doing a live, so that I can correct myself on the mistakes that I've made in the videos. And I even shouted at myself when I was rewatching them back and saying, you bloody should have known better. But it was just, I don't know why I made the mistakes. Maybe I was a wee bit nervous, I don't know. First time doing videos and things like that. So I just want to apologise for the mistakes, but this is, as I say, this is why I'm doing it live, so that I can correct myself while I'm doing it. This video that you see here, we're not even at the junction yet. So I'll just play and let you watch.
So now, here there is a split in the road, in the path. There's a path going that way. There's an entrance there where the lovely disco has just went.
Now, I don't know why I did it backwards, but I did do it. I did do it backwards. There is another video that I do go in more on this bit here and this, and it takes you the map that I showed you with the 2 red lines. The wall is to the left-hand side. Where Disco's standing is the woodland area, and there is a gap there, and that's where the other line that is on that map that I showed you, that is where that path goes. Um,
and if I remember right, it's this path in front of us that we're going to be going. That would be the opposite side of the wall, I think, if we went in that way.
That's not, I think that is true. If you went in that way, you would be in the woodland side of the wall, where the wall is. That's at the top of the screen there in the left hand corner. You can just see a wee bit of the wall. So yes, you can go in that way. Why didn't I invite you? Well, yeah, because you want to go down there at bloody 11 o'clock at night. Yeah.
I think this is the one. So just let's go. Yeah, we'll go down this way. Yeah, we'll try this way. Now, there's the field. That's the woodland area. And where you see all that growth there, that is the wall. Don't know if you can see, there's a brick wall there. Oh, careful. So, yeah. Yeah, goes further up there. So it's quite a sizable wall. Very overgrown. Yep. So, and this is the field that is on, it'll be the right hand side.
Nope. It was my left hand side coming from the East House's end. Don't know why my directions got marked up on that side, but it was on the left hand side.
Coming from the East House's end, which is the end that Joey would have came if she came this way.
As I said, these videos are only
It took us
for
4 minutes
research purposes, nothing else.
51 seconds to come down this far. That's where the wall is. So it's quite a bit away from the actual entrance, as you can see.
Hi, Julie. This is where I don't like saying that word. This is where Jodie was found. I'm trying to be the most respectful I can be. This is where Jodie was found, and it's just really to give a vicinity. Nothing else. It's in Dalkeith. Location. Dalkeith is is a wee village here in Scotland. Hang on a wee sec, Julie. Can you see this map, Julie? You can see this map. This is the location that we're talking about. Jodie stayed in East Houses. Jodie stayed in East Houses, which is here. Luke stayed in New Battle, which is here. And the path that separates the two communities from each other is right here on the path here. So this is the path that we are taking. We're coming from Jodie's side to try and give you a rough idea of if Jodie went down that path, that would be the direction that she would have went to go and meet Luke, who lived in New Battle. So I hope that helps you. Oh, what have I done? Nope. Right, give me a sec, guys. I'm going to have to stop sharing. Going to have to stop sharing the new. And try that again. I am useless with technology.
Okay,
right, we've did that one. So.
Okay, guys, as we says, that's yeah.
Right, share the screen share. There we go. Oh, see all this kerfuffling? Jeez, oh. Right, there we go. There we go. No, not at all, Pom Pom. Not at all. I'd like people to understand and get the proper picture. So if that means I have to go back a wee bit just to show areas and things like that, that's absolutely fine. I would rather people ask than be scratching their heads going, eh? So yeah, I'm glad to answer questions on that if I can, and I've got the lovely Sunshine in the chat as well. And Jerome, hi Jerome, lovely to see you. Thank you very much. Robin, nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining me. So let's get back to this then.
51 seconds to come down this far. That's where the wall is. So it's quite a bit away from the actual entrance, as you can see. No, it's very old. That's why it's crumbling at that V shape. Yeah, so it probably wouldn't have been as overgrown as this 18 years ago.
It's a bit cut back a bit. See here, the old oak trees behind, they're all in the 60s, 70s.
Now, there is a a gap in the wall there. Now remember, this is coming from the East House's side. So Luke would not have checked at this part because he's on the wrong. It's coming from the wrong end.
No, not only that part would have been checked when he met up with the trio, because he walked right from his end, without Mia being in tracking mode or anything, met up with the trio, and then the trio and Luke doubled back down the path, coming in the direction that we are coming now. So they probably did check these bits on the way back down.
So but there's probably other parts of the wall further down. Yeah, like you could go over
Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, thanks, Sharon. Yeah, I mean, the prosecution used a replica of this wall. The V shape. They used a replica of the wall at trial. So they did. Yes, Katna, I says kerfuffling. I said kerfuffling. So these bits that are lower probably would have been checked with torches and things like that. Now, I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. This is just my opinion. They probably would have been checked because it was low and they could look over. Because that's what I would do if I was looking for somebody who was missing or who I thought might have been hurt or injured or anything like that. You would look over the bits that you could reach, you know.
Well, there was reports that he checked certain bits on the way, and people were like, well, why would he check there? Well, you're looking for somebody who could be hurt, could be injured. They know that over that side is like a gang sort of place. So 18 years on the 30th it was.
The last 18 years, it's 6 years.
Yeah. So, and this is the field that some say that Luke could have went through.
It's one of the fields. One of the fields that he possibly could have went through.
But you've got to remember we're coming from the Jodie side. So Luke wouldn't have came up this way. Well,
in my opinion, this is all my opinion.
To me anyway, I don't think he would have came up this way. Not with him living at the opposite edge of the path. So you can see bits of the wall and everything. And oh yeah, this is it's secluded. So you can understand why the teenagers would come this way and hang out, you know, especially if they're smoking weed and stuff like that, and drinking, because we did exactly the same, except yours was graveyards and things like that, living in Pennycook and doing the woods and everything.
Everyone to know that when I was 16 I got a job in a pub. That's how we did it.
So you can see there's a wall, and it's quite an old wall, old stone. Yeah.
And they've all destroyed and pieces along the walls. Last 18 years of work.
Yeah. So, right, I'm going to stop this video now, guys, and I'll start a new one in a couple of minutes. I just don't want them to be too big to be able to send. So, as I says, this is us on Rowendike's Path. This is where the largest statement was.
Yeah. Yeah, there'd definitely be evidence. If you went through it, there'd be a path of you going down there.
This is it. And here we are, guys. This is the V-break in the wall. As you can see, some fresh sunflowers have been left for Jodie, as it was the 30th. The 30th of June was the 18th anniversary. So,
And we were there just at the beginning of July. Hello, my lovely disco. Lovely to see you twice. It was a brilliant seeing you and speaking to you. And is it Senan? Senan is who else is with us. I hope I've pronounced that properly. Which is Disco's lovely partner.
this is the actual spot where it happened. This is where Maya alerted. Now, Luke would have been coming from that direction, and he walked up that way to meet the grandmother and the sister and the brother, and they came back down this way to the V-break, and there is...
Now, I'm pausing it there because this is where I know I definitely made a mistake. Here, I do say that Janine went over the wall. Janine does not go over the wall. She does not. It's only Luke, Kelly, and the granny that go over the wall. Not Janine. And when I watched it back and I realised that I'd said that, I was like, you idiot, you know better. So I do apologise. And as I says, this is why I'm doing the video live, because I knew I did the mistakes and I wanted to correct myself either before it happened or just as it was about to happen, so that people aren't biting back and saying, oh, but you said this wrong, you said that wrong. I know I've said things wrong in the videos. This is why I'm here correcting myself for doing it.
Disco.
And it's not an easy thing getting over that wall.
I'm just going to go over. Now, this is where the grandmother helped to get over. So
I'm just going to skip past that bit because, as I says, I got the information wrong, and it's just me trying to climb over the wall
just like that.
and nearly falling on my butt. So we'll just go to the next video, guys.
Okay, guys, sorry about that. I had to stop to get over the wall. So this is us on the opposite side of the V. said they went west, which is this way.
Oh, Jerome, you're my vampotty. I love it. Yes, lovely wee vampot. It's great having you here, Jerome. Thank you. Yeah, Disco. We actually did learn a lot from actually being there and seeing it. And as I says, there's no disrespect meant to anybody or anyone, specific or anything like that. It's just to get so that people understand the location a bit more and they can judge for themselves. That's all I ask, is to look at things, research things, look into what you can look into about the case. Get the book Innocents.Betrayed at innocents.betrayed@gmail.com. It's in the description below. That's direct from Sandra, or you can get it on Amazon and that as well. But it's innocents.betrayed@gmail.com. And find your information, because it's an eye-opener. And this is happening here in the UK. No. It needs to be independently reviewed. It really does. And this is all this is for. So here we go.
Now, as you can see, it's still apparently quite popular for drinking and things like that. Now, they said that they went west, which is this way, and she was. Now, Luke said that there was a tree in his way to see from him seeing the body. And as you can see, it's quite overgrown. And it's, yeah, but can you imagine what this was like before the police, you know, actually started chopping things down?
Yeah, so because I think that's up to at least 18 years ago.
Yeah.
So what we call a hedgerow.
Yeah.
Walls were put there, trees planted. Look at it, probably in the maybe 1500s.
Mm-hmm.
But the first thing they would have done is planted these trees, planted these big bushes, and the whole thing would take over itself.
Yeah.
But even now, we're not in growing season anymore. If you're in June and it's dry, it's in growing season for a while, and then it becomes like a jungle.
Mm-hmm.
This is probably as light as it will get during the summertime, especially considering people probably cut down the last 18 years.
Yeah. Yeah. And people come through here and walk their dogs.
Yeah.
And everything like that as well.
It would be very dense.
Yeah, very dense. Very dense.
Like a jungle, like I said, very hard to get anything sorted.
Uh-huh.
With a very distinct trail.
And this is us going further in.
These here, these are new.
Mm-hmm.
And these are coming up from, they've been growing here for hundreds of years. You know what I mean? So every summer they're coming up real thick, and every summer it's thicker.
Yeah.
As you can see here, it's not even in the last 18 years, but in the last couple of years they've come down and they've cleared most of the outdated points of it. But
Yeah.
give that 5 or 6 years, it'll be extremely dense. You give it 400 years,
Yeah.
it'll be unpassable.
Now, Luke says that he went 6 feet from the tree, a couple of feet beyond that, from Luke to the tree. So, I think this might be the tree, so the V-shape.
Now, I'm not 100% positive that that is the tree, but there's only that tree that we seen anyway. And Disco did confirm that tree and the tree that I've just turned away from were the only trees that we could really see that was noticeable and old enough to have been there at the same time. That is why I'm saying I think that might have been the tree that was in his way.
It's just up there past
And
that first
the V
tree
brake is just up.
that you can see. So I think this might be the tree. So the V shape.
The V shape is just up here. Just past this tree is where the V brake is. Did the cops take photos that night? Yeah, because that's why they had to cut down some of the bushes and things like that, if I remember correctly. Because they were taking photos. Aye. See, I thought that. Aye. Thanks for confirming, Sharon. Yeah. That's why they cut the bushes round the body, and that was because they were taking photos. I mean, what the... Before forensics even gets there, nothing should have been chopped down. Nothing should have been moved until the forensics got there. Nothing. Not the body, not her clothes, nothing should have been removed or moved or anything before forensics got there, in my opinion.
It's just up there past that first tree that you can see. And Jodie was along here. Now, as you can see, it's quite dense, quite secluded. Now, it says that she was 16.3 metres from the V shape. So, and I'm sure it was round about...
No, it was not, because where we are now is about 20 feet away from where it was said. So I do kind of correct myself in a second.
That she was found. I think that's maybe, this is about 20 feet. Yeah, about 20 feet. Well, she was 16, so it could possibly be just that area there, because Luke said that there was a tree in his way. So the tree, if Luke's coming from that direction, coming in this way, that tree there would have been in his way. So I think Jodie was actually here. About here.
Yep.
Yeah. See? Fresh hands. I think Jodie was actually here.
No, I think it might have been. It's somewhere in this area. It is just a guess, a guesstimate, really. It was definitely in this area somewhere. This is why I wanted to come on and correct it, because I don't know exactly what bit, whether it was this bit here or whether it was this bit here. That's why I'm saying it is in this general area here somewhere. I don't want to pause too much on that, because it's not, as I says, this is just for research purposes. That's all it was done for. No disrespect was meant.
There's a condom wrapper. There's cans. So, and Jodie's feet were, she was at a right angle, and her feet were pointing towards the wall. And her head was facing more that direction. So if Luke came from that direction and he only came 6 feet from the V shape.
Now, to me, in my opinion, is that I think Luke has got to maybe about here. This tree's been in his way, so he's moved to the side a bit. And I think he's seen Jodie lying somewhere about here, seen her legs, and shat his cell, basically. Not literally, but basically. And about turned and went back up to the V shape. From looking at the area, from what I've read, from being there, that is my opinion. I think he got to about here. As I say, the tree was in his way. Got to about here, seen Jodie about here, and about turned and went back.
Then this is where she probably would have been. Now, there is a field.
Now, just to say as well that Jodie was found at an angle, and her feet were towards the wall, and her head and that was going in that direction at an angle. Yes, Sharon, they just dumped the clothes. They just picked them all up, gathered them all together, and dumped all of the clothes onto a tarp. No getting it individually and putting it into individual evidence bags, which should have been done. Just scooped up, gathered up, and dumped on a tarp. Do you think that was done on purpose or lack of training? A bit of both. Katna, I think it was both. It was a lot. It was stupidness. The people that were there on the scene were supposed to be detectives, so they should have known better. It's just, the case was a shambles for the beginning. For the very, very, very beginning, it was a cock-up. For speculation, for the police, because the police had it in the head that Luke and Jodie left Jodie's mum's house together that night, when they never. So, it just baffles me. That and the fact that and Jodie was left out overnight in the rain, uncovered, no tent over her or anything like that. They also moved her body onto a plastic sheet as well. It's hard for us to let people to know, but from looking at your video and watching the documentary, you could probably see better. Yeah, well, that was the videos were took right at the beginning of July, and it was round. We were there in the afternoon. I think by the time we are at the we get to the new battle end, it's 5 o'clock. It's round about the 5 o'clock mark. And you can see how light in that it is. So it would have been the same lightness on the 30th of June, if not a wee bit lighter. And that's what I'm trying to get at. His footprints were only in so far. Yeah. That's why I'm saying, Sharon, I think he only came to about here, and the tree was in his way. I think he might have I think he might have been like kind of looking, shining the torch over, looking, everything like that. And then one of the trees was in his way. As I say, I don't know entirely what tree, but when we were there, the tree up the top and that tree were the oldest looking trees. And I think they were original from the time. So I think Jodie was possibly here. And this is just my opinion. I think Jodie was possibly here. Luke came to about here, seen her legs here, and about turned and went up.
That direction.
That's my opinion.
And he only came 6 feet from the V shape. Then this is where she probably would have been. Now there is a field over there. I'll just see if I can get across here. And this is going straight across from the wall. And as you can see, it's quite overgrown as well. And there's a path there.
Sorry, I just had to stop that there because I'm looking at the chat. William, you know me, and I completely disagree with you. I have told you this plenty times before. So it's nothing new, and what you're saying is nothing new. The forensics fucked up. The cops fucked up. And that all came together in the end. And nothing came together in the end. Nothing. So just no. Just no. The forensics got it wrong. They labelled stuff wrong. Left, right and centre. Inconclusives. Non-reportable. Stuff like that. Even the courts said the cops' behaviour was deplorable. So no. I'm sorry, Wilhelm. No. Yeah, the cops got it wrong, and I'm not saying all cops are bad. I'm really not, because there is some good ones out there, and I know you've got some mates that are cops and that, William, and you may think differently in that. I'm not saying all cops are bad, but these investigators and the cops that were on this case and handled this case got it wrong. From start to finish, they got it wrong. And that is why we're asking for an independent review. So that all this can be looked at. It's a desperate witch hunt after a botched investigation, just like most wrongful convictions. Yes, Disco. Yes, 100%. 100%. They never even went back to talk to people they should have spoken to, so that just shows they had a one-track mind. Yes, Sharon, 100%. 100%. They did not go back and speak to people that they should have went back and spoke to. They did not investigate people the way they should have been investigated, in my opinion. And I'm no a cop or anything like that. It's just common fucking sense. So the fact that other police not involved said they knew he was guilty just by looking at him, how can police talk like that? Yes, Sharon, I agree 100%. 100%. You know what I mean? What are the mind readers now? Psychic, you know what I mean? Oh, he's a bad one just because the way he looks. They were as bad as the media. Jumping to that conclusion. You know what I mean? Because they didn't, and that's why they didn't investigate it properly, in my opinion. So yes, they were all conversing with each other. But just because they're conversing with each other doesn't mean to say they need to have put their own opinions into it. You know what I mean? They should be investigating it properly and following the facts. And they didn't. They did not. No problem, Catnip. No problem at all. We'll get back to this.
And if I can just get a clear enough clearing to be able to show you. And this is the field, and over the opposite side of the field is Newbar.
There is a better picture of the field. It's not until we're further down that happens, but we do end up going into that field, so you'll get a better look at that and everything as well.
So I'll see if I can get a clearer spot for you to be able to see out that field. But there's a fallen tree there on the path. Now this is a path that a lot of the dog walkers and that probably would have took. Some might still do, they might just climb over the tree. I'm just trying to see if I can get a clearer. Now, I don't know if you can see Disco in that over that side. That's where Jodie and that was. Just try to see if I can get a bit more of a clearing for you to see this field, but it is really overgrown with the trees. If I find an opening, I shall certainly let you know. And as you've seen at the beginning, there was an entranceway up there which would have brought you this side of the wall. So it's quite a secluded, dense, wee area. If somebody was in the field on that side, or on the opposite side of the wall, they would have heard something. They would have seen something. Yeah, because you wouldn't come here, you know, and that's even if she did claim over the deed. I mean, because nobody knows, because when they put out the pictures of Jodie to begin with, it was a picture of her when she was like 8 years old. So nobody was looking for a 14-year-old with black jeans and a black top on. You know, they were looking for a child at the time. So she could have went in the entrance where I said it would take us to the opposite, to this side of the thing there, up the top there. She could have came in that way and then walked in this way, you know, but we just don't know. And there's lots of trees and everything like that that's fell down and things like that now. Yeah. No. So it's a bit hard to precisely judge where poor Jodie was to begin with.
Yeah, that's another thing. There was no evidence that Jodie even went over the wall. And if it was, it could have been lost with all the other foot traffic, which is true. Because Luke went over and two of the search trio went over. So anything could have came off on them. The police went over that bit in the wall. And in other videos, you can see from both ends, because I tried to do it for both ends, there is another way of getting into that woodland area that you're seeing without even going anywhere near the wall. But you're still going to be seen no matter what side you come out or what pathway you come out, you are still going to get seen. In my opinion, so.
As I say, it's 18 years of growth and everything. Yeah, well, what was in the book, Disco, was some of this foliage in that was flattened. Because going through that field, if I remember right, that's taking you to Newbattle, where the college and that would have been. So that's how people say, oh, he could have went out that way, or he could have went out the other field, you know. But to me, no matter what way you come out, whether you're coming out this way or whether you're going out the other side, no matter what, at each end of the path, there's hussies. You've got to go past, you know. So, yeah, he could have went through the field. But when he gets out the other end of the field, he's in a housing area. And even just there at the flat, he might have caught him on the clothes. There wasn't indication of that. He might have cut on his hand with barbed wire, or any of this escaping to get away or pulling the body from another area. Yep.
Seems like if you're moving across that field at that there week to leave a trace. It's impossible to not leave footprints in any clothes, near dirt. You'd have to mark on you from this here field. Any good policeman, the first thing you would check would be where's the path, where the evidence of this guy left this way. It would stay there for about a week or so. Do you know what I mean? Assuming that it was June and there wasn't too much rain, what cover you see. So he was doing something horrible over here, get that over there, grabbing onto me, really kicking dirt.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Leaving a path as I went.
Yeah. Well,
anyone who's lived in a field and seen that when kids go across the wheat field or the country field, they leave footsteps, and it annoys the farmer because that's a little land or whatever like that. Like, it's very easy to track things across farmland. Like I said, if you were a policeman, your story was you headed across here, easy to get your evidence, solid evidence. If you knew what you were doing, which I assume that they would be able to take photographs, DNA tracing, do exactly what we're doing at the moment.
Yeah.
But with tin measures and what have you, like
Yeah.
that. It's really easy to spot. Especially in Doom, you can see there's very thick growth. That's not going to grow over an amount of hours. That's going to grow over a week or two.
But it's not even that. I mean, look. I mean, you step in this foliage, right? You're flattening it, no matter what, and you can just see where I've came in.
You could trace that your boots alone are leaving mud.
You know.
Behind you there. So if you're coming in blood or viscera or any kind of other material, it's going to leave on the leaves.
Yeah.
It's easy to spot.
That's just not an easy exit. If you put the skip out over the wall, if you were to do your skip here, I think the trail was flat.
Yeah, they cocked it up through the beginning. I mean, there was flattened foliage, and I think there was fibres on the fence as well. None of it matched Luke.
Yeah.
They tested Luke's shoes.
Yeah,
The mud in that.
The shoes would match any footprints he's left. Would have bits of the grass, bits of the metals, and all the rest.
Now, I think that's what they did, if I remember right. I think they tested his shoes. Is that right, Sharon? Am I picking that up right, or is that some rubbish I've read? But no, I think they did. You're talking about another part. Well, I showed on the map the parts of where to get in and out.
Well, it's not just sticky. It's all designed for evolved to stick to people's clothes. People's clothes and is there any objects or liquids you have on there, anything else will stick to it as well. When you're looking for it, investigating it, that's the first thing you would do. Take swabs of the actual leaves. You said the pressed leaves, you're like, right, take these here. As you can see, you can look around, you can see it's not that common.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you could definitely, maybe if you weren't looking, but certainly if you were looking, you'd be able to spot where it's been sanded down, especially if you're looking for someone who's been out across the field or next to a fence. There'll be some sort of evidence. You can't just jump over that fence, you pick around it. You know what you're going to do. Like you said, what he's in a field there and went into a housing estate, surrounded by people. Is he going to run across the field? Like I says, that field belongs to somebody, that person's watching that field. No matter the time and day, if they've got a dog or something, somebody's watching, and they would report that. Especially if a murder turned up, the first thing they would do would be like, I saw someone going over yesterday.
So, back again, and this is us. We're at the same side as the field. The wall is over that side. Yeah, well, they used to have a den in this area. I don't know if it's at this side or if it was maybe further up the other side. Oh, Christ. Yeah, well, look, you can see, I mean, dragon soup and things like that. I mean, there's...
So you can see, I mean, this bit here, I mean, we've heard of the den. There was supposed to be a den type thing in the area of the woodland strip. It could possibly be this bit because it looks like a bit where they would all hang out. I mean, it's where we would have hung out when we were that age. And they build a wee fire, sit in the tree trunks and that. And everything like that with the pals and have a drink and everything like that. So you can see that it still gets used to this day. So
it'd be an ideal spot for so and the wall is just over there, guys. So
Comfortable. Yeah, like this is, like you said, there's a fire pit here, there's broken logs, little bits you can sit on. The ideal place to go drink is a pillow there.
If you're a teenager though and you're no one to get caught, Yeah, that's what we did.
I raised a bit earlier last night at some stage that this mud will stay like this for ages, maybe forever. You know what I mean? Like the trees, the whole point of having these trees here is that they don't get enough sunshine to dry up the ground. We got all this nice ivy and brush growing about it because it's always wet.
Yeah. I mean,
trying to get away or run, it would leave in your shoes.
I mean, look at how just overgrown. I mean, it is in that as well, you know. And back up there where Jodie was, they chopped down some of this stuff before the forensics and that even got there. You know, so, and then they opened the path up. They opened all this up. 6 weeks.
Terrible. They could have 2 acres of land here. They could have easily closed off indefinitely. Like, so nobody needs to use this land. They could have easily closed it off and spent a long time. Checking the brush, checking the leaves.
Especially if they think
it'd be obvious to see something that's out of place.
Yeah. Well, I mean, especially foliage going over flat and going over there, over that side. It's yeah, it certainly is. But we don't know. The coroner, the pathologist couldn't go over the wall at the V shape, so she went home. She just left and went home.
That's very bad policing. That I mean, it's like she says, it's not that hard. It would be that hard if you had somebody else to get a lift over it. It's not. We had no problem getting over it. It's not even above shoulder height.
No.
I would assume that the coroner was a healthy person.
No, she had back troubles. That's why she couldn't go over the wall.
It's somebody else.
Yes.
Get a step ladder, a box, a rock.
But when we first got to the path, there was a hole in the wall that would have brought us to this side without having to climb over the wall. You know? So no, but I mean, even if it was a case that Luke did it, he would have to still come this way to go back to his own part or go out at the field. You know, but either or.
Is he incinerating his clothes?
Yep. So this is us heading on the opposite side of the wall towards the new battle area, and as you can see, there's barbed wire fence, the field, which is he would have flattened the foliage. His clothes could have got caught on the barbed wire, but there was none of that. And I'm just trying to go a direction. This is us heading towards Luke's end. So this is what it would have probably have been like back then, even if Luke
or similar. It might not have been as overgrown as what it is there, but it would have looked similar.
If Luke did it, which I don't think he did. No. Yeah, so alright, and this is us going into the field.
guy who took all the drugs for?
He was in there.
Was he in there?
Yeah. If I remember right, the college is over that way. The college is over that way, or was over that way. Because that's New Battle over there. And he stayed right over there. Now,
when we saying he stayed right over there, meaning he stayed in the college.
Jodie was up there in the thingy. So with the foliage being flattened, as you can see, the foliage is flattened where we've just came through. There was foliage flattened leading into the field, but it never really got investigated.
See, to me, like the frenzied attack, I think it could be mental health. You know, like a psychotic episode. Be that frenzied. Psychosis. And he fits.
As I was saying earlier,
Luke doesn't fit either of them.
there's somebody who walked in the house. Probably yesterday, maybe the day before. Quite clearly seen the other person in the man there. I was, you could see another one, but somebody's clearly happy with us there about me.
Yeah. Dog owners would use this field.
Exactly. Everyone would be able to very clearly know which way to walk and read it.
Yeah.
They know this crime.
Yeah.
You've also seen that footprint there.
Mhm.
If you're a crime scene investigator, these footprints headed across the you're just going to go, well, no, you're going to check everything quality in the closet clothing on it.
Yeah.
And where exactly it goes, where it comes out,
Ex-
where it's narrow.
Exactly. Especially where there was foliage. You know, bent. You would think that that's what they would investigate. I mean, it's...
Something in the distance would be a grass field, like you hear from the but I look at it in the same thing, some parts of the thing, no parts of it the same.
Yeah.
Grass field, not a grass field.
Well, I mean, the other... one of the fields was a wheat field.
Yeah. Once again,
So...
the same problem that I have here, so you walk on it.
Yeah.
Until that field is grown properly again, that's when that track would see, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
My farmer's going to annoy the people across the land because they didn't damage their stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
From their lines, you know.
Yeah.
So, very much like this grass, like don't follow around here on her path. You went through the wheat field. If anybody went through the wheat field, it'd be obvious for a few months that somebody had gone through them, especially in a rush. Like, unless they were extremely careful, unless there was some sort of really special agent or something like that, it worked out 10 years how to walk through a field without making a trace. But I don't think he was a guerrilla fighter from South America. You know what I mean?
No.
He was trace anything.
No. So, I mean, it's quite a big field. So I'll stop it there for now, guys. Hope that's helped you out a wee bit and just getting a bit of bearing. And we'll start again soon. We're just trying to, typical Scottish weather. It's raining. So, soggy feet and everything. Just as well I've worn my boots. So, we'll start up again soon, guys. Bye for now. Okay, everybody. This is us. Came out at the New Battle end where Luke would have went in. As you can see, there are sunflowers there that has been left for Jodie. And we've just came out that way after being in the woods. So yeah, there's a possibility Luke could have exited from that side, but he is then onto a road. So the way the cars and that are coming up here, it's just unbelievable that they actually think.
Now, as I was saying earlier, this was round about the 5 o'clock-ish time. When we got to this side of the path. So it's broad daylight. It probably would have been a better day. But in saying that, the amount of cars that just went past in that few minutes of that video, I do not think nobody would have seen him. He would have been seen. I'm sorry, but that's my opinion, and I'm sticking with it.
That Luke has done this. Because whether you're coming out the other end or whether you're coming out this end, you're getting seen by people. Whether it be in cars or what. So that's us. I don't know if we're going to go up that way again. Just to give you that from Luke's perspective. But I hope that's helped you out a bit. It's actually quite weird being here and seeing it for yourself. As you can see, typical Scottish weather. It is pissing it down, as we would say. So I'll switch off for now, guys. And if we're going to go back up that way, as in going towards Luke's way, I'll put the camera back on and I'll show you that way. And I hope what videos I've done has helped you out a bit. Okay, bye for now. Okay, guys, this is us at the new battle.
Right, I think this is the last one, guys. Of the lot. So we'll go ahead. It's only 7 minutes long, so it'll not take that long.
Which is the egg that Luke would have. Disco. We'll go up that one. Disco. We'll go up this one because this is the one that Luke would have went in. As you can see, there's the sunflowers for Jodie. God rest your wee soul. And this would have been the way that Luke came with the dog to meet, oh, that went right to my neck, to meet the grandmother and the sister and the sister's boyfriend. There's the wall.
Now, what I noticed, and I hope you'll notice it as well, is from the new battle end of the path towards the East House's end of the path, there is not many dips, dents, holes, or anything like that Luke could have been able to look over on his way up the path. Not from what I seen anyway. And the path, the wall is about at least 7 feet tall. I'm just under 5'2", and it was bloody huge. It's at least 7, 8, maybe 8 feet tall in some areas. And I've tried showing the wall and things like that in this one, so that you can see that there is not many like gaps or anything. There's more gaps coming for the East Hussey side, in my opinion, than there is coming for this side.
And there's a helipad. And you see in the video, the East Hussey said that was where Luke met eyes open for any dents in the wall that Luke would have been able to look over to see, which could be possible. And it's helping keep us out the way a wee bit with all this foliage. For us typical Scottish weather, it is chucking it down. Welcome to Scotland, guys. Now you see that's quite high, that goes up quite high, so
Yeah, it definitely varies in heights of it.
it certainly does, yeah. So if you're coming along here looking for somebody that's hurt or injured maybe, you're going to be looking at all these wee thingies. Now that's quite a dip down there.
Evidence everywhere.
Yeah. And then this is the other field. The field is now on my right, coming from the new battle end. And there's the wall. Now I can't see Luke climbing up there to just have a look. There might not have been as much foliage back in 2003, right enough. The ivy and that would probably have still been there, but yeah. But there's a barbed wire fence there, and then there's another barbed wire fence there. So if you were going into that field, any of the fields, the foliage right there you can see is flattened, which there was foliage flattened leading in to one of these two fields. So I find it very hard to believe that Luke did this, to be honest. There's just so much that the police never done that they could have done, in my opinion. So that, to me, is something to consider. Now, that's the top of the wall up there. So I still think, guys, that the police have got this majorly wrong. To me, there is no way that Luke has done this, to be honest. But this is the way Luke would have came when he was going to meet the mum and that, the gran and that, sorry. So New Battle and East Houses. So we're on our way from the New Battle end back up to the East Houses. Now there's a wee gap there. You can see that on the wall. Zoom in a bit. Luke might have managed to get in there to look over,
but I doubt it very much. It was just too high up. As I say, I didn't see very many low bits on the way up here. So
that wee gap there in the wall. I've heard people say, but you looked at this side of the wall and that side of the wall why would you do that? Because if you're looking for somebody who's missing or hurt or might be injured, and you know that that's a gangway, then there's a possible...
It's much higher. Even though there's a stone there, they have to definitely stop and have a look over it.
Yeah.
I don't say that she wouldn't have been there 18 years ago.
It's not an easy lift.
No. So, and this is a research, and this is another field.
This is the bottom of the field that was on my left when we came in at the East Houses end. This is just the bottom of that field, but coming from the new battle end.
This is the field that was on my left on the way in from the East Houses end. So... Now it is 5:05 at night, and as you can see, it is still rather daylight. It would have been light like this on the day of the murder. So I've got the wall there. And I have not seen any gaps that Luke would have been able to look over on his way up this way. So he was probably just checking these areas here, maybe check the field, and it was just behind bay trees. So I'll leave it up to yourselves to be able to decide what you think. If Luke could have came this way and not be seen. Now you've got to remember, dog walkers use this path. We've just seen somebody with a dog going up the path. Cyclists use this path. There was a report that a cyclist went past and heard some sort of gurgling on the opposite side of the wall. Now the wall is just right there underneath that ivy. So by the looks of it, Luke's entrance is quite a bit further away from the V shape than what Jodie's side was. So he would have walked all the way up here with Maya not in tracking mode. So and this is us back at the V shape where Luke would have went over. Now you've got to remember, Luke went up that way to meet. Let me get my finger in there. Luke would have went up that, continued up that way to meet the granny and that at the top of this path, and then they doubled back this way and they were just here, and Maya then alerted to the left-hand side of the wall, which would have been this side of the wall from the bay, and he went over the wall and went a few feet in and seen something, stopped and came back and told the others that he thinks that there was something there. And that's when Kelly and Janine went over. And
not Janine. Janine never went over the wall. It was Luke, the boyfriend, and the granny that went over the wall. This is where I made the mistake, and I was shouting at myself when I rewatched it back. Janine never, the sister, never went over the wall. Never. That I'm aware of. So that was my mistake.
the grandmother got asked to go over, so she was helped over by the boys. And then that's where he went in, and as I say, is where we started off before. We have where Luke would have jumped in, and Jodie was found in that direction down there. So I hope this has helped you a wee bit to understand what they were saying. And this is the wall that the pathologist. So, right, this is us past the tea break now, and we're heading back to the East Houses End, where Jodie would have came in from.
Now, I'm just going to skip past this a bit, guys, because as I say, it's just the same thing, except a different direction. I'm actually conscious of the time because I know Brendan Talks is on very, very soon.
Those top branches there, it's the top of the wall, so the wall is quite high. There's a gap there in the wall.
So there's no way, I don't think Luke could have even have got up on that gap.
Branches in that there, I suppose they could have got propped up if they were there back then. I've already done this trip, but I wanted to come myself. The police, or the police, as everybody likes me saying, could have looked over to find Jodie. So I'll let you make up your own minds. You do just have to remember that it was 18 years ago, so some of this foliage might not have been here, but it would have been quite bushy like this, to say the least. It's just the summer in the woods in Scotland. So yeah, as I showed you, there could have been other routes that he took, but the other routes, it's a clearer bit of the field, which has to be shaped now, heading back to the entranceway of the East Houses End, which was Jodie's end. A typical hangout, I would say, for kids in the summer. I know, because we would have done that as well when we were 15, doing the woods, hanging out. Now, we've only past quite a bit. And there is a break in the wall, which
That's definitely easier to look over than the other ones.
is nearer the East House's end, so this is a possible.
That was the first one we came to, if you remember for the earlier video. That was the first bit that we came to that had the break in the wall. And I think that's maybe where, on the way back down, after meeting the trio, that's where they maybe started looking on that side of the wall. That's just my opinion.
Spot behind this part. Don't know if this tree would have been there. It looks kind of old enough that it could have been. So I could have just looked over this bit to see. As you can see,
Might have, possible, I do not know for sure if he did look over that part. I've heard people say, but he looked over bits of the wall, and well, I've just tried to show what bits of the wall he possibly could have looked over, because as you seen with the other videos, there isn't really any more breaks in the wall apart from these bits.
it's quite broken away. But that's the only low part in the wall that I have come across that Luke would have been able to look over quite easily on the way up the path to meet the search trio at the East House's end. So, what do you think, guys? Do you think that it's possible that Luke could have got away from here without being seen? It is quite secluded. It's quite quiet. Since we've been on the path, I think we've seen a couple of people with a dog. But other than that, but whether you go out that end, as you can see, I'll zoom in a bit, you can see houses, things like that on that side. And you can see that it is quite big field, but whether it's that field that you take or you take the field that I showed you when we were in the woods there, I don't think it matters, because you're coming out to houses in that anyway. But I shall leave the decision completely up to yourselves. Let you make up your own mind on the facts. Now, as you can see at this bit here, there isn't a fence splitting, but we are now even closer to the end of Jodie, where Jodie would have came in if she came. So I had to stop because my timing ran out on the video. But there's another small break in the wall, and we're actually really close to where we first came in. I'll just go up here. There's a boulder here that could probably be stood on, and this is the other side of that gap. You can see paths. It still looks like it's used by the youngins at some point. Now, if I was searching for somebody who was hurt or I thought might have been hurt. And when I knew that that was a place that you would hang out, yes, I'd be checking all the wee low bits that I could get to and reach. But as you can see with the other videos, that the majority of the wall is quite high, and it's got lots of foliage now. So, as I says, guys, I shall leave it up to you. And we're now coming up to the split in the path where Luke would have searched the trio, or reached the trio, should I say. Here we go. It's the splits. The path leads off that way. Path leads off that way.
So the corner could have got all the way down to that way as well.
Yep, this is, we went down this path which took us to, I'll say, the right side of the wall, but then you have this bit here where the coroner could have got in and went down that side of the wall,
That would have been easier.
and you probably would have got there
Right,
a lot easier. And that's a path, another path that goes into that wooded section where we were. They could have went that way as well, so I don't understand why the pathologist would not have went in this way to get to where Jodie was, and why that young lass was.
No only that, no even just going in that way. In the earlier video, when we were going the East Hussies to the new battle end, and we came out to the field that's at the woodland area, there was a dirt road up there with a gate. They could have easily have came in that way as well, in my opinion. And me and Disco and that said that when we were there, that they could have came in that way.
Left it in the rain. Now, going back up, this path here is to East Houses. That path that's there, I think the path that's there, I think is the lady path.
Now, I think that's the lady path. I'm not 100% sure. As I says, that's why I'm correcting these mistakes that I've made. So don't count me on that. I think I thought it was the lady path, but I'm not 100% sure.
That people going about, and then this is going into the woodland strip. I'll just go up here a wee bit further, just to let you see that there was alternative routes that could have been took to get to Jodie. So I shall leave it up to you guys. Okay, and that's us back at the beginning. I hope this helps you out a bit and helps you understand a wee bit more. And as you can see, there's footprints and mud and everything like that. So Luke would have been covered in mud and blood and things like that. So, okay guys, that's us. I hope that gives you a good idea of where we've been and what we've done. We've tried to do it the best that we can with how overgrown it is now. So, thanks guys, and we'll speak soon.
Okay, guys. Well, I hope that's helped. With location, vicinity, let me know. Let me know what you think, either in the comments below, or on Discord, if we're on chat, or anything like that. Please let me know what you think. And I'll get back to you, and I'll try and answer whatever I can. I'll go back over the chat and see what questions and that was asked. But I think Sharon and Rachel and that are in the chat and Disco done quite well with the answers and that I've seen. So I hope that's helped for people that are from the area. As I says, that no disrespect meant to anybody in the Jones family or anything like that. It was just for research purposes for people that are overseas and people that don't live in the area. That was it. Please sign the petition for an independent review. And we will. He looked over at the Geno spot. Well, I don't know. I didn't see a Geno spot. I don't know where exactly the Geno spot was. That's why I showed every bit of the wall and things like that I could see where he could have looked over to see Jodie. And the only bits that was the gaps at the East Hussey's End. Unless one of the gap bits is called the Geo spot, then that's the only gaps. Go back and watch the videos. That is the only gaps that were low enough for somebody, anybody, never mind look, for anybody to be able to look over with a torch on the way back or down or whatever, in my opinion. So maybe one of these spots was called the Geno spot, William, I don't know. But as I showed, there was only they certain bits in the wall from bottom to top, no matter what direction you were coming, for anybody to have looked over that wall. So I'm going to leave it there. I'd just like to thank everybody in chat who's joined me tonight. Another wee shout out to Kyla if she's still watching. Hiya, darling. And I will hopefully be back doing another video soon. I just wanted to jump on, get these done, so that people can go away now and read more, look more, read for yourself, search for yourself. As I say, descriptions are in the links and that are in the description. Looks appeal papers that we can get publicly are in there. The links for Sandra's books in there. The link to the official website is in there. The link to Danny Justice, Looking Justice is in there as well. Join me on Discord. We're on Discord as well, so come join the Discord group. And I shall say thank you so much, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye the now.